Hello and welcome to Saturday Night Karaoke. My name is Chuck Tomasi and I'm so glad you're here. It is a wonderful Saturday night where I am, and I hope you are having a wonderful Saturday night as well. Thank you for joining me on Facebook or YouTube at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. I say that I do this every Saturday, but we've missed a few Saturdays. I had Dragon Con on Labor Day weekend. We had something going on the 11th. The 18th, I was recovering from a procedure that I had done on the 17th, so nothing serious. Don't worry. Things are back to normal. We're doing great. But it's been a busy few weeks, and I had some new studio equipment to get going. So you'll probably hear a slight difference, maybe in the way that the reverb and the effects are on the audio. I am down to one microphone. Woohoo! I don't need one that has reverb on it because I can reach what I need to reach on the iPad. Yes, this is a lovely way to do the studio. In fact, let me get that over there. So when we do start singing, I am just a button press away from turning on the reverb or other effects or muting or whatever it happens to be. I'm having a good time, and I hope you are too. Thank you for joining me once again on Saturday Night Karaoke. We did have a chance to use the karaoke app at Dragon Con. When I was there over Labor Day weekend, we had a nice little improv karaoke party. Wasn't on any official schedule, but we snuck it in on Saturday night. We did about 4 hours with some friends and some people who were wandering by. Found some bugs, found some enhancements, did some work on that over the next couple of weeks, and I've got them in here. I'll show them off a little bit later, but work continues to progress. It was very educational, very informative, and very fun. That was the main thing. It was exactly what I wanted with people taking turns and being able to pick songs. A lot of good stuff. Hey, Mary, good to see you. Hope you had a wonderful vacation. Eric is here. Let's get this party started then. I do have another new toy, and that would be this remote, which controls my mini split. A mini split is a kind of a small version of an air conditioning unit. Yes, we have an air conditioning unit on the house, and it doesn't do a very good job of cooling in this room. So rather than making the rest of the house work really hard, we installed a mini split. There's just a little wall unit that sits on the wall over there and blows cool air at me. And I can keep it nice and cool in here, and it can counteract the equipment and the lighting and everything else that goes on. So that went in on the 30th, and we had a webinar on the 31st. And I remember standing right here going, oh, this feels so much better. It's 15 minutes into this 1 hour webinar. I'm not dripping sweat down my back. So still a few things to learn about it. There's all kinds of interesting settings inside the remote that I haven't begun to play with. Lots of buttons, but we'll get there. For now, it's a comfy 76 in here. And I plan on keeping it that way. And then when I'm done, I can turn it off and the room goes back to normal. All right, enough about the slice of life. What do you say we go through 1968? We've been going through the years on each episode of this since, what was it, June-ish, July-ish. And we are up to 1968, and we've got 6 songs tonight for you from that year. And I will tell you that none of the lyrics make a whole lot of sense. I don't know what they were smoking in 1968, or if it just happens to be the songs that I picked. But wow, there's some psychedelic stuff going on. I do think I hear a voice out there. Donna may have returned. She's been gone all week to Disneyland with a friend of hers, and she's back. So I'll catch up with her right after I'm done with this. So if I feel like I'm rushing through this, that's probably why. Let's get on with our first song then, which means we have a trivia question for you as well. Since the first and last songs are associated with this. First song is Judy in Disguise with Glasses. True or false? I don't do too many true or falses on this. Usually get a 1, 2, 3, 4. But true or false? Is this a parodic play on the Beatles song Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds? Ever wonder that? Judy in Disguise with Glasses, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, maybe. Flip a coin or go look it up while I'm singing. Let's get that back there. But find that, click that, and let's get on with this. Reverb at the touch of a button. Good to see you, Jules. Thanks for joining us. that's what you are. Lemonade pies with a brand new car. Cantaloupe eyes, come to me tonight. Judy in disguise with glasses. Keep wearing your bracelets and your new rah-rah, whatever that is, across your heart, yeah, with your living bra. A chimney sweep sparrow with guys, Judy in disguise with glasses. Come to me tonight, come to me tonight. I've taken everything in sight, except for the strings of my kite. What do these words mean? Judy in disguise, hey, that's what you are. A lemonade pies, hey, got your brand new car. Cantaloupe vodka tonight, Judy in disguise with glasses. Sorry, messed that part up a little bit. Come to me tonight. I've taken everything in sight, except for the strings in my kite. Judy in disguise, what you aiming for? A circus of horrors, yeah, well that's what you are. You made me a life of ashes. I guess I'll just take your glasses. There we are. Oh, I got another special effect for you in song number 3, Green Tambourine. Because I got a new mixer. For work got me a new mixer. It fits in the audio rack. It's not a big desk unit. I kind of been stressing out the last few weeks about I got to switch over to this. It wasn't working because if I don't switch over, then the big desk unit is taking up too much space, and we're working on carpeting and the painting is done in the house. We got the house painted. Looks wonderful. Next is the carpeting, and I'm going, I need to get the carpeting done in the studio at the same time we do the living room and the bedroom and the hallway and blah, 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 blah. But if I can't get this mixer running, I can't get the old one out, and then I can't carpet. And it's like, ah! It was just kind of stressing me out. So we got it working. Proof. And while I was at it, I did a little looking through the effects library, and I went, oh, when I picked song number 3, Green Tambourine, yeah. I went, I know exactly what I want to do for that. But before we get to that, we've got some history to do. We've got history from 1968. If you were there, you probably remember some of this stuff. If not, well, sit back and learn because it was January 14th. Hey, that's my brother's birthday. In American football, the Green Bay Packers defeat the Oakland Raiders by a score of 33-14. I'm going to turn that down just a little bit. I thought it was a little too loud before. I thought it was a little too quiet before. We'll adjust that. They defeat the Oakland Raiders 33-14 in Super Bowl Dos. Yes, that's it, at the Miami Orange Bowl. January 17th, Lyndon B. Johnson requests a bill ending the gold convertibility of the U.S. dollar. No more switching your money for gold. That would have been cool. I think it was silver, wasn't it? You had silver certificates. January 22nd, Rowan and Martin's Laugh-In debuts on NBC. Who remembers watching Laugh-In? I do. That was a good show. They had some really interesting characters on there. Let's move on to February. I got a couple of events for you. February 6th through the 18th, the 1968 Winter Olympics are held in Grenoble, France. Hope I said that close. And the 19th, NET televises the very first episode of Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. There's a trivia question. What year did Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood start? It was 1968. Who remembers watching that? A lot of good TV shows that came out in 68. Back to Lyndon B. Johnson, March 11th, he mandated that, get this, all computers purchased by the federal government support the ASCII character encoding. ASCII stands for American Standard Code for Information Interchange. It was made up of 256 characters, most of which people couldn't read, but it was the first attempt to standardize. Most of the mainframes before then used something called EBCDIC, which I don't remember what it stands for, but I learned it a long time ago. And now we have things like UTF-8 because international, right? Everything is not American. March 16th, U.S. Senator Robert F. Kennedy enters the race for Democratic Party presidential nomination. And on March 31st, the last event of this segment, back to Lyndon B. Johnson, he announces he will not seek re-election. Can't imagine why. All right, let's cut the music. Bring that back up a little bit. And who's up for another song? I need to go to channel 9 on that. Woohoo! I like this song because it's one of the few songs I've ever heard that uses the word etc. in the lyrics. So what do you say we sing another song together? Hey, Gary! March, am I watching an old episode? No, we were going through the history of 1968. That's what we've been doing lately. Covering a year at a time, and then between the songs, we get a segment of what the history of that year was. There was lots of Vietnam stuff. There's lots of space race stuff. I've got a few of the highlights in there. There's lots of riots and race stuff that's going on during the late 60s, of course. So I'm going to hit on some of the more memorable ones. Clearly, there is lots more that happened in 1968 than what I've got, but we're not here all night. Let's sing another song. This song, the beginning of this always reminds me of One by Three Dog Night. One. You've got a thing about you. I just can't live without you. I really want you, Elenore, near me. Your looks intoxicate me, even though your folks hate me. There's no one like you, Elenore, really. Elenore, gee, I think you're swell, and you really do me well. You're my pride and joy, etc. There it is. Elenore, can I take the time to ask you to speak your mind? Tell me that you love me better. I really think you're groovy. Let's go out to a movie. What do you say now, Elenore, can we? They'll turn the lights way down low. Maybe we won't watch the show. I think I love you, Elenore, love me. Elenore, gee, I think you're swell, and you really do me well. You're my pride and joy, etc. To ask you to speak your mind. Tell me that you love me better. Elenore, gee, I think you're swell. Elenore, gee, I think you're swell. I know Donna's out there with her friend. And it always cracks me up because all they can hear is me. They don't hear any of the background. They don't hear any of the effects. Cracks me up because it never sounds quite right when all you hear is the voice. It's like, oh, that was pretty bad. But fortunately, we can cover it up with a lot of effects and whatnot. All right. any other news that we had? I mentioned the home improvements. The electrical is done. The painting is done. They finished that up last Saturday, the 18th. And next is on to the carpet. So we're looking forward to getting that. We already talked about the audio equipment. So let's get into the history. Well, I kind of messed these segments up, didn't I? I get so excited about talking about stuff. Let's go back to channel 1 and back that down a little bit. I am going to have to adjust that the other way soon. All right, April 1968. Whoo, you know there's some serious stuff coming up. In a television special broadcast in the United States on NBC, white British singer Petula Clark touches African-American singer Harry Belafonte affectionately on the arm. Scandalous. You know, it's amazing that stuff like that was even newsworthy back then. Isn't that funny? Just what a change in perception. Same date, April 2nd. The film 2001: A Space Odyssey premieres in Washington, D.C. April 3rd, Martin Luther King delivers his I've Been to the Mountaintop speech in Memphis, Tennessee. You know what happens the next day. That same day, April 3rd, Planet of the Apes is released in theaters. Wow, so 2001 and Planet of the Apes were released one day apart. Isn't that interesting? Okay, April 4th. Yes, of course, April 4th, 1968. We all know this from the history books. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated. He shot dead in the Lorraine Motel in Memphis, Tennessee. Riots erupt in major American cities, lasting for several days afterwards. 1 week later, April 11th, President Lyndon B. Johnson signs the Civil Rights Act of 1968. April 18th, John Rennie's 1831 New London Bridge. You know the London Bridge? You know the song that we used to sing, London Bridge is Falling Down? Yeah. Well, it was sold to Arizona entrepreneur Robert P. McCulloch, and it's rebuilt. Yes, it's still here. I have a picture of it with Donna in Lake Havasu City, Arizona. It took them about 3 years to reconstruct it over there. But I have a picture of her at the New London Bridge in London, and I have a picture of the Old London Bridge in Lake Havasu. So put that on your bucket list if you want to have something fun. It's like, I want a picture at both London bridges. The musical Hair officially opens on Broadway, April 29th, 1968. May 14th, the Beatles announced the creation of Apple Records in a New York press conference. And Mattel's Hot Wheels are introduced May 18th, 1968. Hot Wheels, I just kind of imagined they'd been around a lot longer than that. But nope. Who used to play with Hot Wheels? Probably still do. Whose grandkids play with Hot Wheels now? Great grandkids. Oh, the many hours of fun with that orange racetrack stuff. June 4th, the Standard & Poor's, the S&P 500, closes above 100. Woo-hoo, for the first time. What was it recently? 2,500? I didn't check today. I checked when I wrote this a couple of weeks ago. June 5th, assassination of Robert F. Kennedy. Oh, that's right, at the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles. June 5th, 1968. Oh, there's a lot of heavy stuff in 1968. Sirhan is arrested. Kennedy dies the following day at age 42. These people were way too young. I was having a phone conversation. I said, you know, we're older than these people now. Yep. June 8th, James Earl Ray is arrested for the assassination. It took them 2 months to arrest James Earl Ray for the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King. All right. Let's cut the history music. Let's get back to singing song number 3. All right, I got a special effect for you on this one. So give me back channel 9, and you'll hear it. You'll hear it when we get to it. You'll watch. My mouth doesn't quite go with the words when it happens. Green Tambourine by the Lemon Pipers. A lot of these I don't remember who the artist was sometimes. Drop your silver in my tambourine. help a poor man feel a pretty dream. Give me pennies, I'll take anything. Now listen while I play my green tambourine. I forgot to turn it off. Watch a jingle jangle start to chime. Reflections of music that is mine. When you toss a coin, you'll hear it sing. Now listen while I play my green tambourine. Fancy, huh? We've got the reverb, Clinton. Now we're adding echo effects. Drop a dime before I walk away. Any song you wanna gladly play. Money feeds my music machine. Now listen while I play my green tambourine. I'm having fun, hope you are. Listen and I'll play. I had fun with that. As soon as I picked that song on, I went, oh, I have to look through my effects to be able to put that in. And I found an echo effect, had to adjust a little bit of the timing, but I think that was worth it. Don't you? I even got a little bit of right-left. I don't know if that comes out on your end or not. It did when I did my practice recording, just to make sure that it was working last night. And it's got a really cool stereo effect. Normally, it was just a single echo, and I went, ooh, I can split this between the right and left. It doesn't hang on quite as long as I'd like, but now I'm getting a little deep. That was fun. Okay, where are we? We finished Green Tambourine, and Gary mentioned Hot Wheels and Matchbox cars. Yes, there were two different kinds. They were kind of compatible. I don't know what it was, but I forget if it was the Matchbox or the Hot Wheels, but some of them, you'd always get your favorite car, but the wheels would kind of camber in, and they didn't drive quite right. And I could just, I don't know about you, knowing Gary the way I do, I could just imagine him playing with these cars today. That's just the thing. The song is new to me. Gary's never heard Green Tambourine? Okay, you got to listen to your local oldie station more. Of course, the oldie stations now are playing 90s music. That's not even funny. Thank you, Jules. Having a lot of fun. Let's do the history thing. And I just have to remember to manually bring that down until I tweak the button on the stream deck. Okay, where were we? July 15th, the soap opera. Who watched soaps as a kid or into their adult life? Who still watches soaps? Are they still on? One Life to Live, Days of Our Lives, Search for Tomorrow. Remember those? Well, One Life to Live premiered July 15th, 1968. July 18th, here's one for you tech nerds. And oh, how I wish I had invested in this company back then. The semiconductor company Intel was founded July 18th, 1968. Don't know when they went public. I'll see if I can find that out. So, yeah, that would have been nice to know a few years ago. August 21st, the Medal of Honor is posthumously awarded to James Anderson Jr. He was the first black U.S. Marine to be given this award. Congratulations to him. Try to get in some diversity and some civil rights stuff in here as we go without overpopulating it. Popular Canadian band Rush was formed September 18th, 1968. Yes, now I feel old. September 20th, Hawaii Five-0 debuts on CBS and eventually becomes the longest-running crime show in television history until Law and Order takes it over in 2003. Did not know that. It's Hawaii Five-0, longest-running crime show. The news show 60 Minutes debuts on CBS September 24th and is still on the air as of 2021. I remember watching 60 Minutes. That was, when you were a kid, that wasn't the most exciting show. Like, oh man, what was it, Sunday night, 6 p.m., like 60 Minutes? It feels more like 60 hours. Finally, September 30th, Boeing introduces its largest passenger aircraft up to that time, the Boeing 747, at a public event at Payne Field near Everett, Washington, which is real close to their, well, manufacturing facilities. Okay, let's kill that. Goodbye, crazy music. Put that back up. And what did I say? The karaoke app made some enhancements. You may not notice it on the screen, but there are now stars right up. Do the weatherman thing. Right up here, there's some stars next to each song. And it dawned on me when we were at Dragon Con that some of the songs people were singing, there were multiple versions available because it's on multiple YouTube channels. And some versions are better than others in terms of the background music, in terms of the quality of the music. Is this one just all synth music, or did they actually get some guitars and play this? So I think a couple of years ago when I first started doing this, I noticed that certain YouTube channels had better versions of these songs. And I'd been struggling for a way to represent that so that people would pick the best song. So when I got back from Dragon Con, I went, I know, I'll just put a star rating on each channel because generally the channel has the better songs to help people. And then I sort them. So when you pick, ABBA's Dancing Queen and you've got 18 of them, the ones at the top are the better ones. So that's helpful. The other one, you've probably seen me do this on this show when I accidentally hit the check mark and I went, oh, I didn't sing that song yet. Yes, we did that same mistake at Dragon Con and have to manually go in and edit the record. Well, now I have an undo button, and it's actually a configurable undo button. So if I need an undo somewhere else, I can say, this is where I need it, and this is what it's going to do. So that was fun. What else did I put in here? Oh, filters on the search. Somebody from our own company said, do you have search filters? Let me see if I can zoom in on that real quick. There we are. So if you're searching for songs or you're searching for your favorites, if your favorites list gets obnoxiously long like mine is, you can simply add a filter to say, no, I'm looking for Queen in the artist, not Queen in the title and artist, because by default it'll search both, which is kind of nice if you don't really know. So a couple other things and some bug fixes that I noticed I picked up, but it was a really good experience to get this out in the public and get people using it. So several other ideas that I want to implement, but you're free to use this if you want. devlink.sn/karaoke. I'm not charging anything. I'm not selling email addresses. It's just for the love of karaoke. You can have a personal party on your phone if you want. You just go, hey, I want a one-click party. Let's start searching and singing and knock yourself out. If you want to do something a little more elaborate where you've got a group of people to get together, please be safe. You know what the restrictions are depending on when you watch this. Be safe about it. When we were at Dragon Con, there was like a little, almost like a Tyvek or a paper filter over the microphone. Different than this foam one that I've got here. But they were changing them after every panel. And I went, okay, we didn't do that at the karaoke party, but I did wipe it down a couple of times. All right, Manfred Mann. It wasn't Manfred Mann's Earth Band at this point. Mighty Quinn, another song with some really interesting lyrics. Come on without, come on within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty Quinn. Come on without, come on within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty Quinn. Everybody's building ships and boats. Some are building monuments, others are jotting down notes. Everybody's in despair, every girl and boy. But when Quinn the Eskimo gets here, Everybody's gonna jump for joy. Come on without, come on within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty Quinn. I like to go just like the rest. I like my sugar sweet. But jumping queues and making haste just ain't my cup of meat. Ew. Everybody beneath the trees feeding pigeons on a limb. But when Quinn the Eskimo gets here, all the pigeons gonna run to him. Come on without, come on within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty Quinn. Come on without, come on within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty Quinn. Let me do what I want to do. Can't decide them all. Just tell me where to put them on, and I'll tell you who to call. Nobody can get no sleep. There's someone on everyone's toes. But when Quinn the Eskimo gets here, everybody gonna wanna doze. Come on without, come on within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty Quinn. Come on without, come on within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty Quinn. Come on without, come on within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty Quinn. One more time. Come on without, come on within. You'll not see nothing like the mighty Quinn. That's another one of those songs that just kind of goes on and on and on. Like, is this the last one or not? Okay, I do like, I did take advantage of several weeks between episodes. Not that I wanted to do that, but it did give me the opportunity to. Actually, I didn't pick songs until like Monday, which was about where I usually do, but it gave me time to get the history stuff out of the way and the trivia questions. So that was a lot of fun. Watch on the bottom center. When I click the checkbox, undo, it fades in. Wait about 5 seconds, and then it fades out. Yes, that was some of the fun that I had. Okay, I think we are up to Q4. I'll tell you, when we have strangers in the house, painting, the painters were in and out. Poor cat. He was hiding the whole time. I did allow him in the studio. He went in the closet and he was hiding between some of the shirts that I've got here. And he was pretty terrified most days. I think towards the end he got to recognize the voices, and I'd leave the door open a little bit. But he doesn't do well when strangers are in the house. Let's do history like this again. October, November, and December of 1968. The only song more confusing than that is A Whiter Shade of Pale. Oh, no. Eric, we're going to have to compare weird song lyrics. Just about any song by Yes or Pink Floyd or Led Zeppelin. Yeah, great lyrics. The only way you'll understand them is when you're high. Trust me, I was on laughing gas at the dentist and went, oh, I get it. But then they cleared up the laughing gas and it all went away. October 1st, Night of the Living Dead premieres in the United States. October 5th, police baton civil rights demonstrators in Derry, Northern Ireland, marking the beginning of the Troubles. Oof. The games of the 19th Olympiad are held in Mexico City, Mexico, October 12th through 27th. Now, that's pretty late for the Summer Olympics, but I can understand being in Mexico, you don't want to do that in July or June or August or whenever they usually have the Olympics. So kind of makes sense, but it just seems very late. And back then, I remember they used to have the Summer Olympics and the Winter Olympics on the same year. It was, about 2006, I think, where they started spreading them out every other year. So 2008, then 2010, and 2012, so on and so forth. Former U.S. First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy marries Greek shipping tycoon Aristotle Onassis on the Greek island of Skorpios on October 20th. October 25th, hey, didn't we just say something about Led Zeppelin and interesting lyrics? Well, they made their first live performance. Led Zeppelin made their first live performance in Surrey University in England on October 25th. What a coinkydink? Maybe. November 5th, 1968, Republican candidate Richard Nixon defeats the Democratic candidate Vice President Hubert Humphrey and American Independent Party candidate George Wallace. Names from history. November 17th, NBC cuts off the final 1 minute and 5 seconds of the Oakland Raiders versus New York Jets football game. This is known as the Heidi game because they had to broadcast the pre-scheduled Heidi. Yeah, that movie. Fans are unable to see Oakland, which had been trailing 32-29. They scored 2 late touchdowns to win 43-32. As a result, thousands of outraged football fans fled the NBC switchboards to protest. Say, did you watch the football game last night? Yeah, that's one where you really want to be at the game, especially with the last 1 minute and 5 seconds. They scored 2 touchdowns. That would have been interesting. Like, what happened? What happened? Oh, come on, really? November 22nd, the Beatles released their self-titled album, popularly known as the White Album. And Star Trek moment here, November 22nd, 1968, in the 12th episode of Star Trek's 3rd season, featuring the first ever interracial kiss on U.S. national television between Lieutenant Uhura, Nichelle Nichols, and Captain James T. Kirk, William Shatner. More like today you'd go, who cares? December 3rd, the videotaped NBC television special Singer Presents Elvis marks the comeback of Elvis Presley after the legendary musician has been away from singing. December 6th, the Rolling Stones released Beggar's Banquet, which contains the classic song Sympathy for the Devil. Please allow me to introduce myself. December 9th, I think I have a vinyl copy of Beggars down there. I didn't get a chance to dig out some of these. Where was I? December 9th, Douglas Engelbart. Computer nerds will know this one. Douglas Engelbart publicly demonstrates his pioneering hypertext systems, NLS, in San Francisco, together with the computer mouse, and what becomes retrospectively known as the mother of all demos. Imagine that. Being there in 1968. It's like, what is this interesting device that he's using to control the computer? And now they're just so ubiquitous, you don't even think about it. In fact, I don't even want a mouse on my computer. I'd rather have a trackpad. Like my desktop, I ordered an extra trackpad so that I could use gestures. But at the time, a mouse. I think some computers had a light pen, but those were the fancy ones. Where were we? The Zodiac Killer. December 20th, the Zodiac Killer is believed to have shot Betty Lou Jensen and David Faraday on Lake Herman Road in Benicia, San Francisco Bay, California, his first confirmed victims. And if I remember right, they haven't yet solved all of the Zodiac Killer's cryptic messages. That's one of those things that cryptographers and code breakers like to keep working on. As far as the Apollo program goes, December 24th, 1968, we are almost up to the end of the year. The manned U.S. spacecraft Apollo 8 enters orbit around the moon with astronauts Frank Borman, Jim Lovell, you know that name, right? And William Anders. They become the first humans to see the far side of the moon. Not the dark side, the far side of the moon. And planet Earth as a whole, as well as having traveled further away from Earth than any people in history. And you probably know this image, the one with the moon in the foreground and Earth rising above it. It's technically titled Earthrise. That's when they took that picture. They also gave a reading from the book of Genesis. December 26th, Led Zeppelin make their American debut in Denver, Colorado. That is the history for 1968. And we have a couple of more songs to go. What do you say we have some more fun? I believe the last one is about Oh, you know what? I never gave you the answer to the trivia question before. Wow, thanks for holding on to that one. It was a true or false. Judy in Disguise, the first song we did, was that or was that not based off of Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds? And the answer is yes. Yes, it was. Okay. And I believe my next question is not related to this song. So I will cue that up. Come on. There we are. Yes, it's for the last song. So, hello, Suzette. And we are going to do two more songs from 1968 before we get out of here. Remember when this used to be like 3 quick songs and we were done? Here she come now, sing Mony, Mony. Well, shoot 'em down, turn around, come on, Mony. Hey, she give me love and I feel alright now. Hey, you got me dancing until in the middle of the night, and I feel alright. I say yeah, 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 yeah. Well, you make me feel so good. Yeah, so good, so good. Come on. All right, baby. I say yeah, 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 yeah. Ow! We shake me, Mony, Mony. Shotgun, get it done, come on, Mony. Don't stop cooking, it feels so good, yeah. Hey, well, don't stop now, say come on, Mony, come on, Mony. Say yeah, 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 yeah. Well, you make me feel so good. Yeah, so good, so good. Oh yeah. All right, baby. I say yeah, 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 yeah. Ow. Ooh, I love you, Mony, Mony. So good. I love you, Mony, Mony. All right. Ooh, I love you, Mony, Mony. Everybody. Ooh, I love you, Mony, Mony. Say Mony, Mony. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm not sure what happened there. Ow. Come on, come on, come on, come on. All right now, all right now, all right now. I say yeah, yeah, yeah. All right. Ow. There's something about the timing of that one spot where like they stopped right as they were supposed to say yeah, and they don't say yeah. And I know that's not the way the song goes. So once again, on you, YouTube lyrics. Let's check that one off. We're still having fun. Yes, we are still having fun. We are out of history. So quick reminder before we go. I do this on Saturday nights at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. When you all change your clocks, I'm going to keep it the same for you. So I have to adjust the time that I start. Right now I'm doing this at 6 p.m. Arizona time, but because I don't change my clocks and you all do, means I could start at 7 p.m. But that's okay with me, as long as we are having fun, and I will bring you this fun as long as I can, as long as I'm able, as long as I'm in town and can stand up and all that good stuff. And the mini split holds up. Worthwhile investment. Let's close out with our final trivia question. We have a song by Steppenwolf. I think I did this once last year. Did Magic Carpet Ride, but the original members of Steppenwolf were originally in a band called. There were 3 of them, of the 5 that are seen here. I forget their names at the moment, but was that band called the Sparrows, Robin Hood, Downward, or Breakup? Don't let me forget to give you the answer to this trivia question either. Don't let me get away without it. So, what was the band that they were in? It didn't live for very long, and then they went on to create Steppenwolf and picked up a couple of other band members. But Sparrows, Robin Hood, Downward, or Breakup? You decide while I give you this last song by Steppenwolf. Full screen, reverb on. Play that music. I like to dream, yes, yes, right between the sound machine. On a silent cloud I drift in the night, any place it goes is right. Goes far, flies near, to the stars away from here. Well, you don't know what we can find. Why don't you come with me, little girl, on a magic carpet ride? Well, you don't know what we can see. Why don't you tell your dream to me? Fantasy will set you free. Close your eyes, girl, look inside, girl, let the sound take you away. Last night I held Aladdin's lamp, so wish that I could stay. For a thing could answer me, well, someone came and took the lamp away. I looked around, lousy candles all I found. Well, you don't know what we can find. Why don't you come with me, little girl, on a magic carpet ride? Well, you don't know what we can see. Why don't you tell your dream to me? Fantasy will set you free. Close your eyes, girl, look inside, girl, let the sound take you away. Long instrumental. Just jam out on the air guitar. Play it with me. Or the air guitar, or the air drums, or the air keyboard. I have a new, longer purple microphone cord. Well, you don't know what we can find. Why don't you come with me, little girl, on a magic carpet ride? Well, you don't know what we can see. Why don't you tell your dreams to me? Fantasy will set you free. And with that, we wrap up Saturday Night Karaoke for September 25th. Let's check that off because it's not done till the sad clipboard says it's done. And there we are. So thank you very much, everybody, for joining me. See you again next Saturday. I guess that's going to be October already. Oh, man. Time flies, doesn't it? October. I think we've done about 300 songs on Saturday Night Karaoke since we started. Let's do another 300, shall we? I don't know what that'll look like, but we'll roll up with 1969 next week with some history, with some music. Let's relive it. Put on your 1969 clothes if you still got them. I know some of you do. You have a hat or a shirt or some shoes that came from 1969. Go find those. Oh, trivia question. Okay. Told you, don't let me get out of here without the trivia question. What was the name of that band that was the core of Steppenwolf before it was Steppenwolf? It was, in fact, the Sparrows. So there's your answer. I'd call this a technological success that we got the microphone working. We have reverb at the touch of a button. We can even do the echo. I'll see if I can find some more effects if they apply to certain songs. I don't want to abuse this, but that was a lot of fun. I will see you again next time. Everybody take care. Play that outro music and let's go home. Stay safe, everybody. Bye.